Mike Freeman. Mike Freeman. I guess Mike has been feeling a little bit left out lately. I guess Mike's been feeling rejected. Been a while, been a long time since we had talked about Mike Freeman here on the channel. And by the way, don't think I have forgotten about that apology you owe me. I know it's been, about 18 months, but Casey's got a very long memory. Long-term viewers of this channel, you guys already know what I'm talking about. September of 2022, Mike Freeman was a leading contributor in that fabricated story of mythical racism involving Rachel Richardson from Duke and BYU. Mike said if the story was proven to be false, which I said it was from the very beginning, and I ended up being right, but Mike said that the story was proven to be false, he would be the first in line to apologize and admit that he was wrong. Here we are 18 months later, and when my inside sources ask Mike Freeman about this apology, he says, "Who is Rachel Richardson? I've never heard of her before." We've added thousands upon thousands of new subscribers since we last talked about Mike Freeman, so for those of you who are new-ish to the channel, allow me to properly introduce you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mike Freeman. As you can see, he is giving the universal sign of virginity common amongst nerds who like Star Trek. That's why I have nicknamed Mike Freeman the Star Trek Virgin. When Mike isn't busy being rejected by R2-D2, he collects woke welfare from USA Today, which provides him with enough disposable income to purchase the battery-powered lightsaber. If you ever find yourself being attacked by stormtroopers, don't call the police, call Mike Freeman. He is lethal with the toy lightsaber. Mike Freeman's official job title at USA Today, I am not making this up. His official job title is Race and Inequality Editor. Translation: Mike Freeman scours the internet looking for stories of mythical racism. He's also a part-time victim, and you don't have to take my word for it. Mike is proud of his victim status. Check it out for yourself. As you can see, Mike Freeman is informing his lonely male followers that he is a victim of hateful racist emails. Now, of course, he doesn't offer any proof of these allegations. Maybe, just maybe, he's not offering proof because it doesn't exist. Mike Freeman, he sent out that tweet earlier this afternoon. Now, I am assuming that he is claiming to have received racist emails over the latest piece of propaganda that he published for USA Today. Since George Floyd happened in 2020, USA Today, they have done something special every February to celebrate Black History Month. The series is called 29 Black Stories in 29 Days. Well, Casey, what do they do when it's not leap year and there's only 28 days in February? Well, in that case, USA Today pretends that February chooses to identify as a month with 29 days. Easy, easy. Supposedly, though, the purpose of this series is to examine issues, challenges, and opportunities that Black athletes and coaches face in America. In terms of the NFL in 2024, this series should be simple for USA Today, right? I mean, according to their own Nancy Armour, 2024 has been a landmark offseason in the NFL in terms of diversity. Headline from USA Today on January 25th. NFL hires 4 coaches of color in one cycle for the first time ever. It's a big deal! Going into next season, there will be 9 Black head coaches leading teams in the NFL. Almost 30% of the league has a Black head coach. I mean, that's great, right? Deacons at Woke United Methodist, they should have nothing to complain about anymore, right? Leave it to lead Deacon Mike Freeman to find a unique way to accuse the NFL of mythical racism again. I guess I shouldn't be giving Mike Freeman all the credit because he actually stole this idea from Stephen A. Smith. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends over at Ultimate Health and Wellness. As I have gotten older, especially as I've gotten into my late 30s, I have suddenly realized how important it is to exercise. I'm not talking about exercise trying to look like Roger Royd with the massive deltoids. I'm talking about exercise just to feel good every day, live a healthy life. Problem for me, I don't like like going to the gym, which is why I have started using Ultimate Health and Wellness. The programs offered by Ultimate Health and Wellness, they're perfect for me because everything is online and I can use the program when it's convenient for me. They have this interesting workout series called the Billy Sticks program. This particular exercise, it's a 6-part series, and the best part about it, the Billy Sticks are dual purpose. You can use them to exercise, and if you're into martial arts, the Billy Sticks are great for self-defense. Ultimate Health and Wellness offers over 200 workouts that are good for all ages and fitness levels. Most workouts are about 30 minutes in length, which honestly, that's really all you need to live a healthy lifestyle. If you want to bulk up and add some extra muscle, there's 20 different categories offered that will work you into shape. And if you're looking for the personal touch, Ultimate Health and Wellness offers one-on-one training over the internet with a coach who's got over 20 years of experience. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Receive 20% off your first purchase of the Billy Sticks exercise program with Ultimate Health and Wellness. All right. Last month, Stephen A. Smith was complaining about the Washington Commanders. I really hate that fucking name. Why couldn't they just stick with WFT, which most people thought stood for Washington Football Team, when in reality it stood for Woke Football Team? But anyway, Stephen A., he was complaining because the Lieutenants hired Cliff Kingsbury to be their offensive coordinator. What was wrong with this hire? What made this so egregious? It should be obvious, right? Cliff Kingsbury doesn't identify as a person of color. Mike Freeman, he has taken this fake outrage from Stephen A. Smith a step further. Headline at USA Today: NFL has 0 non-white offensive coordinators. Oh no! Oh no! Non-white? Really? Non-white? I'm assuming that Mike Freeman had to use a term like that because maybe one NFL team has an offensive coordinator that belongs to a marginalized group. But either way, the real complaint here from Mike Freeman in USA Today is that the NFL doesn't have any black offensive coordinators. Wait a minute. Has the supply of mythical racism run so low that the mainstream sports media is now looking at the race of coordinators to find something to pretend to be outraged over? Really? Have the shitfucks really gotten this desperate? According to research conducted by USA Today, 2024 is going to be the first year that the NFL has 0 black offensive coordinators to start the regular season. But let me ask you something. USA Today, why are they researching that? What is the purpose of this research? Well, KC, they want to ensure that equity reigns supreme in the NFL. There is no such thing as equity in professional sports, or at least there shouldn't be. If the NBA was truly about equity, I would be paid the same amount of money as LeBron James. You know why I'm not? Because I'm a white dude that can't jump, and LeBron is a phenomenal basketball player. That might not be equity, but it's reality. That's the world I choose to live in, the world of reality. Since Mike Freeman and USA Today are all about racial research, how come they're not researching the cornerback position? I can't tell you the last time I have seen a white cornerback in the NFL. Outside of Christian McCaffrey, most running backs in the NFL ain't white either. If we're truly about equity, shouldn't USA Today be looking into these egregious violations of the woke commandments? And while we're at it, let's do some research on the race of water boys, or water girls, water women. Hell, you never know these days the gender they're choosing to identify with. Just to be safe, we'll go with water birthing persons. Is Roger Goodell making sure the position of water dispenser is both gender and racially equitable? The premise of this absolute garbage written by Mike Freeman is that NFL teams look at offensive coordinators when hiring head coaches. So even though the NFL just broke records in diversity by hiring 4 black head coaches, the future looks bleak because there are no black offensive coordinators. Now, even though his official job title is... What did I say Mike Freeman's job title was earlier? lead editor of Mythical Racism, whatever the fancy title. Mike Freeman is supposedly a journalist. The guy you're watching right now has no experience in journalism, but I do have 39 years of experience in common sense. I researched the background of the 4 black head coaches that were promoted in the NFL last month. Imagine my surprise. Just imagine my surprise when I found out that 3 of these 4 head coaches were defensive coordinators. DeMeco Ryans, he was hired by the Texans last year. Guess what he was? Defensive coordinator. Todd Bowles was hired by the Bucs last year. Guess what he was? Defensive coordinator. Robert Saleh was hired by the Jets in 2021. Guess what he was? Defensive coordinator. Mike Tomlin was a defensive coordinator too before being promoted to head coach by the Steelers. Do I need to keep going here? Do you get the point? Using Mike Freeman's own research against him, there are 14 black defensive coordinators right now in the NFL. With teams promoting defensive coordinators to head coach, maybe one of those 14 will get their opportunity. 2 years ago, Roger Goodell, he implemented a new rule where every team is forced to have either a woman or a minority as their assistant coach. Now, just to be clear, this is not optional, it's mandatory, and I wonder if that is having any impact on the product on the field. Now, to be fair, the impact is probably minimal if there's any impact at all. I don't know. What I do know, since that rule was implemented 2 years ago, the NFL product has drastically declined. Now, a lot of that has to do with the substandard play at the quarterback position, but Roger Goodell is fostering a culture where people are being promoted based on race and gender instead of their merit and skill. Dennis Allen is the head coach of my Saints. Derek Carr is the quarterback. I would trade Denise Allen and Donnie Carr for DeMeco Ryans and CJ Stroud today. Not because I want the Saints to meet some doofus diversity quota. I trade Denise and Donnie for DeMeco and CJ Stroud because DeMeco Ryans is a better coach and CJ Stroud is a better quarterback. I don't care about their race. All I care about is the results they can deliver. That's how normal people look at this. Most NFL fans, they don't care about the race of their head coach. They damn sure aren't paying enough attention to care about the race of their offensive and defensive coordinator. All fans care about are results, winning. You know what I think the media is going to complain about next? They can't complain anymore about black quarterbacks, can't complain about black head coaches. Next, I think they are going to start criticizing NFL teams who have never hired a black head coach. I guarantee you that is going to be the next complaint. 8 teams in the NFL have never hired a minority head coach. 3 teams haven't hired one since 1990. With the supply of mythical racism running dangerously low, the media, they are forced to get creative. Don't be surprised when that is their next complaint. But give me your thoughts on this. Mike Freeman with what I consider to be the ultimate reach. He accuses the NFL of mythical racism again because there's no black offensive coordinators. Now, I have been ignoring this doofus for a long time now on purpose. I don't like giving Mike Freeman free publicity, but I just couldn't ignore this. USA Today is absolutely pathetic. I cannot believe they allowed this bullshit to be published. But what do you think the mainstream sports media is going to complain about next? What will be their next fabrication? You tell me. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. I appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.